All right, and now we are live. Let me know, guys, if you guys can hear me because we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna jump right into the spaces. Make sure you guys smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Let's do it. Start now. Let's do this. Starting it now. Sometimes it's like this. Aha, here we go. All right. Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me. Audio good? Everyone good? On YouTube, it seems to be good. On X, can you guys hear me on X Spaces? All right, I see thumbs up. Good stuff. Good stuff. Nice, nice, nice. Everyone is coming in slowly but surely. Just gonna wait a little longer. Fa is at takeover, so I'll be hosting it this week. So, all right, good stuff. Good stuff. Just doing one more thing here. How y'all feeling, by the way? I hope you guys are. Man, what a week! What a week with Tesla. It drops 8% after the Q2 earnings, and then it goes up again the next day. Crazy, insane. I love it. All right, there we go. We're getting some people coming in. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so let's just begin then, I guess, because people are slowly coming in. Most people are at X takeover, so Fa will be coming in and out here and there. So she'll join us soon. But guys, how y'all feel? Alexander, how you feeling? How do you feel about the Q2 and Tesla and all that? Oh, sorry guys, 1 second. There we go. I should hear it.
Just a question. I'm sorry. Here in Germany, we now it's almost noon, and I was at a festival and had a bottle of wine. Sorry if I maybe sound a bit weird.
No worries, no worries. Sorry, Alexander, what was your question?
Well, if you also see, like me, that actually most of the people don't realize what how many in Germany we say hot iron he has in fire. Is that the same expression in English? I don't know, because the company Tesla is actually not one company. It's like 10 companies which should be in Nasdaq, and all combined. And if you see the developments and all the different markets they're in, and they're disrupting from energy to insurance. Um, it's amazing. I can't believe it, but well, I knew it will happen because I know this guy Elon Musk has the capability to realize that, and he has kind of he knows how he can foresee future, kind of, in my opinion, and that's why I think we are just at the beginning. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, but what I can say is that most people, um, I mean, this goes back to other companies. Like if you look at Apple and Amazon and Nvidia back in the days where they were just a certain level or certain type of company. Like Amazon was a bookstore and Nvidia was a gaming company, and Apple is just a computer company, right? People are not. Most people are all they do, and investors do this, right? I mean, those long-term investors have a bit more horizon, so they would look more into deeper. But those who are investors, they will look at the Q2 earnings right now of Tesla and go like, well, the numbers are not looking good. Like the numbers, we got to be honest. The numbers, yeah, it was a beat, but when you look at the numbers year over year, revenue is not doing pretty well. The margins are low, right? When you compare to 2022, where it was like double digits and it was going crazy, as an investor, compare that to this. It's like, well, Tesla has kind of lost their earning, lost their way, But if they look ahead and they see the what's like on the horizon, how much that can generate, and what they're about to tap into, that is the opportunity that we have to get into. Now, those investors are going to say, "Well, I'll get into it once I see numbers coming in," and I get that. But once that
They
happens,
still focus on the selling numbers of cars,
yes,
but that will
because
no longer be the topic anymore, in
well,
my opinion. Yeah.
in terms of numbers, it still is because it's 80% of the revenue. That's why. That's why they say, "Well, 80% of
Yeah,
the revenue. That's crazy." But
but look at the margin and the cash flow compared to other car producers. I'm in Germany, yeah, and if I compare that to German OEMs, it's embarrassing, yeah, for the German OEMs. They have debts at the European Central Bank, unimaginably, and the debts they have to fulfill the pensions for the working people they had in the past. Actually, they're broke, in my opinion, compared to Tesla. If only if you watch the automotive part of it. And I used to work for the automotive technical magazine and engineering magazine, technical magazine here in Germany. For it's a B2B magazine for the engineers of the automotive industry, and I used to work there in 2001 to end of 2003. And I talked to Ferdinand Dudenhöfer, which is actually um, the Pope of the German automobile industry, and I said to him, the biggest mistake was to get everything outsourced, the development and the production of every part until to tier three. That was the biggest mistake, in my opinion.
yeah, um,
These were
yeah.
big mistakes for the German. I compare it always to the German automotive industry. Yeah, let's say that. Yeah,
But
sorry.
Alexander, we know that Tesla isn't a car company, so why do you compare it? Ha 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 ha.
No, I'm not doing it, but actually the media and most of the people and investors are still doing it and comparing it to a car company.
Yeah, yeah, and I would see why they do that because a majority of Tesla sales right now is autos related, but I don't think that's going to be the case 5 years down the line. I think we're going to completely forget about autos. We'll not forget about it, but we're going to not. It won't be on the spotlight anymore because that's not what's going to be.
Exactly.
pushing the
Energy
valuation.
sector
Yeah,
will be amazing, in my opinion.
yeah, me too.
It's a printing, money printing machine, in my
Robotics.
opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we long-term investors. That's what we see. That's what we see. But other investors that look at quarter to quarter and they look at what the numbers say, they don't see that. They say, okay, yeah, I'll think about it. I'll make my decision when I actually see it coming to the numbers. Like that's what they say. But we are different here. We see that how cheap the stock is today compared to what it would be once it does come in the financials, and we want to get in. We want to get this opportunity now. Of course, we have to wait 1 year, 18 months. Elon's talking about Q3 of 2026 when we will see a good significance of robotaxi revenue and profits come in. And I'm thinking, I mean, Bloomberg, out of all legacy automaker, not automakers, legacy media, they're talking about 35 or 30,000 robotaxis Tesla will deploy next year, which is like insane. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
more than that, but those
And
will be those will be heavy weights for the revenue and profits. Now, obviously, 30,000 robotaxis means that not every one of them has supervisors. They can't have 30,000 supervisors in those cars. I think it's probably going to
no,
be a
man,
ratio,
no.
maybe 3 to 1 or something.
But you know what nobody's talking about, they always say we are expecting at least two cheaper models of Tesla cars. And I don't know, I think I haven't read it anywhere so far, but I think the Robotaxi will be there will be a version of it with steering wheels, and that's the cheaper model in my opinion. And maybe you have
Didn't Elon mentioned that right in the earnings call? I think he mentioned that it was going to
Okay,
be.
he did. Okay, maybe I listened to all of it, but I was guessing that like for months now, and they will have like a version where you have like still a three-door version of the car, but you have like four seats and you have a smaller trunk. I think these are the two different models. It's a two-seater and a four-seater. That's my opinion. But what do you think?
He did say that the one of the compact cars is just a smaller version of the Model Y. But in the earnings report,
Yeah,
it was mentioning models, so it's like more than one. So I mean, we already knew that the Model Y was heavily focused on. We have a 6-seater now, which is like longer than the Model X, which is insane. And we'll have a shorter version too, which is which makes sense. I think there's a picture leaking around now showing that the new Model Y doesn't have a glass roof. That's what's going around now. Um, so it is a strip down of the Model Y. That's what it is. And I do think next year or the year after there could be a version of the Model Y that you don't have a steering wheel or a pedal, just like the Cybercab, and that can bring
Are
the
you sure
cost even
that's
lower.
Model Y? I wasn't sure about that picture.
I think it
But,
was. I think it was. I
okay.
mean, it's
yeah.
hard to tell. Hard to tell what it was, but it definitely looked like a different variant of a Tesla vehicle.
It's going to
100%.
be. It's going to be. They're going to take the glass off of the roof because I think Omar was posting about this earlier because the cost differential is like 5 to 7%. So
That makes
they
sense.
really have to optimize it to get that cost savings there. And again, guys, this is going to come really in handy once we lose the EV tax credit. We're really going to need this kind of structure, especially for buyers that want to get into the car. It's going to be really important.
Yeah, I think so. For the US, yeah, might be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the US. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a genius move. It's like I think Tesla's gonna sell a whole bunch of cars in Q3. I think they're gonna sell a pretty decent amount of vehicles. And then once the EV credit goes away on September 30th, maybe on October 1st, which is Q4, bam, you have a new model that's pretty much the same price as a Tesla would be after the EV credit. So really, um, you didn't lose that base. And I don't think it's just one. I think it's going to be a couple of them coming on, and Wall Street's going to be really happy about that. So some are calling it what's it called? Some are calling it that it's the bottom. So let's see.
Yeah,
Let's see.
it was
Yeah.
the bottom actually. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
In my
I hope
opinion.
so.
Also,
I agree.
Alex, I think it might have also, in terms of it being the bottom, Alex, I remember Trump's tweet about how, I don't want to destroy Elon's companies. I want him to thrive. I just want to say, I think that's a really, really important tweet that he gave. And Elon responded saying, well, there aren't any real subsidies, but I just want to say that I'm really, really glad to have seen that tweet from Trump. That's really, because I think once they saw that, people don't innately believe that Duffy is going to be a hurdle to regulatory now. If the government's on our side, we're not going to have any hurdles to regulatory and anything like that. So
Yeah, and I don't
Yeah,
think.
but nobody realizes what it means for the margin if they allow like FSD even here in Europe. We are all waiting for it, and we can't. It's we are going crazy actually. What we see in the US and nothing is happening here. But I'm confident that it will happen maybe by the end of the year in some parts, and maybe on the Autobahn here. I think there will be some, what I heard, some rumors, possibilities that it will be allowed. And then imagine they will buy this FSD upgrade, what the margin of each car will explode at the end. Nobody has this in its mind, I think, or of the analysts. What do you think? Maybe I'm wrong.
I would say this. I would say this is what we know, and we do know that when there's going to be a lot of robo taxis or just FSDs that do pop up in Europe and other parts, there will be a big tsunami, let's say, right, of profitabilities, of margins that will go up in. I would say not in a single quarter, but maybe in a couple quarter. But this is what we see, right? This is what we see. The um, the Wall Street analysts, these guys, they don't see that because they want to see it now. They want to see it, but they are pricing something in. That's for sure. They are pricing some stuff in of that. Chris, you have your hand up. What do you got to say?
Yeah, I was just curious to see. I mean, you guys probably already did, but if you guys saw like the news like 20 minutes ago from because I got like a TOS agreement on my Tesla app saying if I agree, like if I go to California for like the robotaxi and stuff like that.
Wait, you got an invite to go to the robotaxi?
Well, I went to my robotaxi app and it asked me to agree to the screenshot I posted. It said, if your ride is taking place outside California, is being conducted autonomously by choosing this button, you agree to Tesla's terms of service. If your ride is taking place in California, it is being conducted with a safety driver using FSD supervise. And I think that's because they obviously have the permit to do FSD supervise in California, but they have to have like someone in the steering wheel. But I think they're still going to launch it in California, just with the safety monitor in the driver's seat, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think this weekend they were supposed to do something. I'm not too sure if that's going live or not. I know
Yeah,
that. No, I know there's a lot of
So-
rumors going around saying that Tesla robotaxi is banned in California, which is just absolute horseshit.
Yeah, that's not true at all.
Yeah. So whoever, I mean, I think his name is Gavin, whatever his name is. Yeah, that's just completely.
yeah, Gavin and Kevin Paffrath is also spreading that false rumor as well.
Who? Kevin Crap? What?
Kevin Paffrath. His name is that Kevin makes money guy. He's that investing guy. You know that one guy like Kevin.
Meet Kevin.
Yeah. Meet Kevin. That's the
Meet
name.
Kevin.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
guy. Yeah. Don't. Okay. Here's the thing, guys, and on YouTube and X here, do not ever take advice from Meet Kevin. Never. He's a flip flop like Dan Ives, but I think worse. And he actually tells you to do it. Like that's the difference. Like he tells you, he says, "I sold my Tesla stock, and you guys should sell it too." And then everyone gets all angry. And then a few weeks later, he buys in. "I just bought Tesla stock, and you guys should too." The guy is a total clown. And yeah, I'm just saying, don't listen to him.
He's very young too. Meet Kevin is incredibly young. He had like a brief political stint. He ran for like office or something, and he didn't win. I mean, he's kind of an interesting novelty, but I wouldn't take him too seriously on Tesla. He's pretty mad. He sold his Tesla shares, and Elon blocked him and everything, and
It's
he's
like
kind of mad.
Gerber and Gary. It's the same shit. Yeah, always.
Yeah,
Yeah, with these guys, you
yeah,
gotta
Gary.
you gotta be careful with these guys. They they want to do good, but I don't know, when they tell you to do something, I don't know, that's not a good idea. That's always up
He
to
he has a
keep in
really
mind,
like short-term mentality.
keep in mind also, you also have to look at these people are selling courses. They're not actually winning by the stock market. They might be shifting it a little bit, but ultimately they do not have your best interests in mind. They've got their financial fiscal interests in mind, their own.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's why you gotta like stay, be careful, do your own research, stay away, and just focus on the price. Focus on the signal, and focus on that's it. Focus on the signal right now. Yes, the earnings are coming out, and when you look at the numbers, they're not that great, but that's not why we're invested in it for. We're invested in it for the next S curves that's going to come, and it's crazy to me that so Tesla beats earnings and then the stock goes down, but the other quarters when they miss earnings, the stock goes up. It's weird. It's they don't know. It's hard to value Tesla, and
It's always been like that.
yeah, it's always been
Hey,
like that.
Pejjy, at the end of the day, though, bro, if you just hold, you're never going to lose. I'm just saying, because it's always going to go back up.
Facts.
Yeah, but you know what? I know some people who are having like a large amount of stocks, uh, um, um, and but they still have like 10 to 15% floating, and they make a head of money because yeah, it's volatile. Yeah, they make money, and it's
But
yeah,
at what
it gives me
cost though?
pain when I sell Tesla stocks. Actually, I sold it like I told you twice. It was always a mistake, but maybe
I would never want to sell my Tesla. That's the thing. Like if you hold it long, right?
yeah, I
And
know.
to your point about the 10%, like I would never go on leverage. I would never go on margin. I would never short. These are all things that are very, very dangerous to do. And you could invest in a Tesla leveraged fund. You could you could even directly leverage it. You can get a margin account. I haven't opened a margin account with my brokerage yet because I'm just absolutely terrified that margin is just the wrong idea. I mean, taking a loan out on money you don't have is just a really, really bad idea, And that's why, like, I would say to anyone that's listening that is considering selling or is nervous for the volatility, don't be. Just hold long. Um, keep your conviction strong, and you will be rewarded. Don't give in to the temptation, to make a quick buck or to try to pull a fast one and make a little bit more money when in reality, Tesla can go up at any time at 10%, 15%. And when it goes up, your loss on that short position will be tremendous. Bill Ackman famously said that he never shorts stocks anymore after his losses with pharma companies, with Herbalife. He just doesn't short because there's maximum liability with shorting. When you're holding long, the most you can lose is your initial investment. But when you're shorting, it's quite dangerous.
Yeah.
Also, keep in mind, a lot of people don't think about capital gains tax. You got to pay on those realized gains. And on top of that, like, I'll tell you guys straight, like 2 days before Liberation Day, where everybody was losing their minds, I bought my entire portfolio. I haven't touched a thing in it, and I'm up 52%. And I've got two positions. One is Tesla. So hold and win, I'm telling you. And that was just since Lib Day.
Yeah, and I'll say this, Tesla right now, it doesn't seem like to be trading on the fundamentals, right? It looks like the investors in the market don't really care about, oh, okay, Tesla missed earnings, beat earnings. They're actually keeping a very close eye on what's going on with the robotaxi stuff. Like, when Tesla launched the robotaxi in Austin, there were some people that actually couldn't believe that, oh wait, they actually did it, and the stock went up because of that, not because of Tesla Q2 earnings. So. And this phenomena like again, this is something that I've never seen before, but this phenomena has been going on for the past 3 quarters now, that Tesla's been missing earnings, but markets don't seem to care because yes, there are some good guidance coming out from Tesla saying that, oh, we have photo models coming, we have robotaxi starting and stuff like that. But they are really eyeing this robotaxi stuff, like the fact how, Tesla expanded their area in Austin 18 was it 18 days? 18 days from initial launch, which Waymo, by the way, took 16 months and a half to do in
Hey,
Austin.
Pejjy,
Yeah.
originally it was like 10 years for them to expand. Or no, 3 years, excuse me, 3
Yeah.
years. So
Yeah.
it was 3 years for Waymo to expand, and Tesla did it in 3 weeks.
It's insane.
That's pretty bullish.
And now we're starting in California.
Look at the cars; it's still the same car as it was 10 years ago.
Exactly.
And the other beautiful part to add on to that, Pejjy, you got to realize like the technology is completely different. So you've got Waymo has to map, Tesla does not. So if Tesla can come out and 3 weeks later expand, Waymo cannot map that fast. Who's winning this battle?
It's a done battle. It's not even. I mean, look, I don't know how flippin' Waymo can even compete. I mean, look, it's gonna go to California, Austin. Elon said in the earnings call that within a week or two, it's gonna be even. It's gonna be the area of the area in Austin is gonna be bigger than Waymo's, and that took what, like maybe 5 weeks, 6 weeks. It's insane. So California it's happening. As Chris mentioned earlier in this space, and I'm seeing people on X, Xander, and everyone else, review and agree in California. So that's going to be launched there. And then we have Nevada and Florida and other states that'll come up as well. This is what, the market is eyeing. And the more they expand and the more they go to other cities, the higher, I think, in my opinion, the higher the stock is going to go until there's some actual guidance to how much they can produce in terms of revenue and profit. And I think that'll take some time. But
I completely agree with you. Yeah.
You want to know a fun fact about where they're bringing it to Florida, supposedly? You can be on the highway doing 60, 70 miles an hour for an hour and still be in the same city. That's how big the area would be.
That's insane.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have. I think you're right, Pejjy. I think there's gonna be like a cap on the price, on the market cap, until they can attribute, like Joe Backby was saying, a certain percentage of the cash flow coming in from revenue from the robotaxi. And I think that once they get around 2,000 plus cars or so, I think that'll be a pretty good inflection point, if you will, where the stock might go up a little bit.
I see you watched that.
Yeah, right.
You used to watch that video.
I saw
with that
I watched
podcast.
Yeah.
He did mention.
Yeah.
I mean, 2,000 robotaxis on the road. That's a lot. I mean,
I don't see it being far off, though. I really don't. Like, he's proven it just works. Like, there is no denying at this point.
Exactly. Yeah. I wonder how many robotaxis are going to be launched in California and Nevada and Florida. I don't know if it's going to be 10. I think they're starting with 10.
It might be like a pretty small. I think it'll be like similar to the Austin rollout, and then once they expand the service area a little bit, it might be a good amount more cars. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Man,
I can tell you when it comes to Jacksonville, dude, like 10 cars ain't gonna cut shit here.
Man, I just can't wait for the news that'll come out that say that, okay, in Austin we are limiting our supervisors because we are short. Now, of course, not all, maybe one or two. They're going to be transferred to California or whatever, I don't know, to see, and we'll actually see robotaxis without any supervisors. And what I do want to see is how Tesla is going to price the rides as for the public, because it can't be $6.90, forever. So I'm very eyeing that to see how much they can compete with Waymo and everyone else in their cities. So,
Pejjy, the beautiful part about that is they can still produce the actual cars, or the robots. They can still produce them at such a low cost that they could literally run this project at half the price of every other competitor and still be making bank. So either way, I think it's going to be a win.
Facts.
Waymo and Uber is dead by the end of the year. My prediction.
Yeah, I mean Uber.
I don't think dead, but it's definitely on its way out.
Yeah,
But the stock market will realize it's very soon, in my opinion.
yeah. I mean the thing is with Uber and all these other guys is that Uber is so desperate right now. They're making deals with like stupid deals, right?
Short
Like,
them.
I mean, not a bad idea, but I mean, no, they're making deals with Lucid, with this other FSD company, or what's it called?
Ford,
No,
the
not
two
Ford.
dying companies merging together.
Niru. I think it's the other. It's like a lidar company. Yeah, making a triple deal like that, and the stupidest thing is that they want to deploy 20,000 within the next 6 years. I mean, just Tesla delivers 20,000 vehicles in less than 4 days. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just so dumb. I don't know what this deal really is.
Pejjy, I needed that. I was laughing nonstop to everything you were. It's just crazy.
No, the deal is so like I'm literally reading the deal. Like when it first came out, I was reading the deal. And I'm just like, well, the first thing that came to my mind, I'm like, okay, what is this deal? They taking it seriously. Then I read it, and I'm like, well, this is stupid. Only 20,000 vehicles over the next 6 years. It should be over the next 6 days. If you want to have any winning chance. Hell, even 6 weeks is okay.
That's my biggest conviction in Tesla, man. Is just look at their ability to scale. Nobody else can do that for that cheap. And when it comes to those, all the incentives going away, that 7.5 going away, who cares? That's just going to kill the competition worse because Tesla can still produce and, at least break even or make money. The others are screwed. People don't see that.
You know what
Yeah.
kills the competition is the time they will produce a car, a robotaxi, and a Model Y. That's what will kill everybody, every OEM.
Yeah, exactly. Man. Oof, it's and I love it. It's like, okay, Q3 is gonna come, Q4 is gonna come, but no one's gonna care about the earnings. That's the freaking awesome part. It's like, okay, show me what you guys. But you know what? I will say this: Q4 of 2025. I'm very excited to see what the earnings call is going to be, because that is what 6 months from now. What kind of data Tesla will have with the robotaxi, and I think there will be some meaningful guidance going into 2026. I think
You also got to look at Elon just said also by the end of the year, half of the American populace will be under robotaxi, basically. That's
insane.
an offshoot. That's huge. If it happens, amazing. If it's just under it, it's still amazing. So who gives a shit? Let's go.
It's 50% of the entire population of the United States. That is what, 175 million, right? If I'm not mistaken. I mean, screw it. Let's not say 50%. Let's say 10%. That's still 30 million people. That's insane. Like that's 30 million people. I mean, at that point, it has to be public, right? Imagine the kind of revenue and profits Tesla could generate with that amount of exposure. That the TAM of that is gonna be massive. And on top of that, I think Elon said in the earnings call that they're waiting for regulatory approvals for China for I don't know, was it robotaxis or FSD? Because I know FSD in China is already it's already working there.
I think it was robo taxis, bro.
Dude,
that's what I think I heard, but I'm not sure.
If it's robotaxis and they're waiting approval for it, and that market opens up as well, that is insane, dude. Like that is crazy. Like that is like, sheesh. That's what it is, So, I mean, I've never been so bullish on this company before. And you know what's hilarious? When I was doing a live stream on the Q2 earnings call, people were so bipolar. It was hilarious. But after the earnings call that came out, and the stock and the stock went down, man, everybody were like trash talking, and I was like, calling them out.
Oh man,
it was crazy.
Pejjy, was that one guy that trolls your channel? Was that guy in there like trash talking?
Oh, you mean
that
you mean you
troll
mean
guy.
you mean suckers only? Apparently, he's now a fan of the
Yeah.
channel.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
He's a supporter now for some reason. I don't know. It's hilarious. But no,
That's
yeah.
Was
interesting.
supported by BYD, probably.
No, but it was insane. It wasn't just him. He was like, whatever. He's a troll, and he's listening too, by the way. But anyways, yeah, he's a troll. But
Oh, okay.
yeah. But it was other guys that came in, and I'm just like, man, you guys need to chill. Like these guys, these were the type of investors that bought literally a week before this earnings call, and they thought this was gonna 10x the next day. Like these were the type of people.
I think a lot of them were probably like short term, right? A lot of them were trading.
Yeah, and they lost a whole bunch of money. That's why they were pissed. And then the day after, the stock goes up.
That would really tick me off. Just imagine losing a bunch of money, not believing in the mission, selling all my stock, and then if you just held for another day, you would have made almost all of it back. That's so.
That's that. And you know what I realized about
terrible.
this? We'll see what happens next week with the stock. But it looks like I don't know. I may be wrong, but it looks like the market does not want to see Tesla to be valued under $1 trillion. Like I've noticed this for the past month or so, even after this Q2, they don't want the stock to go below. I think it's what, like 309 or 310, whatever the trillion mark is. They don't want it to go below that.
It's a trick, in my opinion.
It's a
So what?
The big players want to get in cheap, and they know what's going to happen. But yeah, the weekends they will played out always. Yeah. Always.
Alex, I couldn't agree more with that statement.
I'm sorry.
I could not agree more with that statement. That is dead accurate, bro.
I mean, look,
that's what I experienced.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you look at what Tesla's doing, and you see that the advantage they have, why would this company be trading or be valued less than $1 trillion? Like I always say, like back for the past 3-4 years, I'm just like, I mean, Tesla is trading less than $1 trillion. Why is Tesla trading less than $1 trillion? It should not. The amount of data that the world, they're the only company that have the amount of real world data. That right there should be worth $1 trillion. Like,
hey, Pejjy, even better. In one quarter, they did 1 billion miles of FSD supervised.
That's insane.
Billion in one quarter.
Insane.
Like, how could anybody actually think that they're gonna really fuck up? Like, seriously.
Yeah. No, that's insane. On top of that,
humans drive still better. It's always the same. Even in Germany, it's fucked up. Yeah. No, computer can't drive us. No, it's not allowed. It's a danger. Yeah. I don't know. It's fucked up.
That's hilarious.
Europe needs hello. Europe needs a affordable car as soon as possible. I think Tesla might release it in Europe and China first, and like US in Q4, because it doesn't make sense to release in US, right? Yeah, I saw like 11,700 euros ads all over Spain for BYD. Like, that's like crazy low prices. Tesla has to,
Divya, they mentioned in the earnings call, Elon and Vaibhav mentioned that the ramp for the affordable model was going to be a touch slower than expected, but it was going to happen mainly because the EV tax credits culling has to be offset. So they really have to work on it. But the ramp, would be a little bit slower, they said in the earnings call.
For US, yes, but they didn't comment about China and Europe.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna. That's a different market.
Yeah. I think they might release before Q4 in China and Europe. Looks like
that'll be good. That'll be great.
They did release the Model YL in China, so maybe they will release the cheaper version in China as well.
What are you expecting from the India market?
Oh, that one excited me too.
The price is pretty high, but there are like a lot of people waiting for Teslas. But like, they all know that it's 110% tax, so they're kind of like, some people would be waiting for that when the tax goes away, like when Tesla starts a factory.
Yeah,
not sure when they will start a factory there.
Didn't they reduce
Hey, I'll tell you now. Every Indian person that lives within probably 50 miles of me drives a Tesla here. So I'm sure the demand is high, dude.
Yeah. Demand is pretty high, but like just that people know that 35,000 they are just paying to the government, right? For the and the price is actually 35 and they're paying 70. So some people would be offset by that, but like I think they're like they
It's
can do
insane.
north of 20,000 cars based
I
on
think
the
that
yeah.
it's likely that the tariff situation will resolve within a few months. I think, and I say that only because Trump has a fairly good relationship with Modi. I think Trump gets along with Modi. He doesn't really, he isn't ambivalent towards Modi like say he might be towards Xi. Because remember how Xi panicked a bit and said the counter tariff right in the beginning, and that caused Trump to have that brief tariff spat with China. So and then Trump can be proven to be reasonable. Look at how Trump dealt with the Mexican situation. Such a good relationship he had with the Mexican president. Very, very good woman, very smart, and he didn't raise it on her, and he was very level-headed, calm about the whole situation. And I think once the Indian the deficit that they have is lowered a little bit, I think Trump might lower the tariff.
No, it's not Trump. It's like India has 100% tariff on cars, imported cars.
Yeah, imported cars. Yep. Hey,
Yeah.
Vivez, do you live in India or do you live in the
Now
US,
I
bro?
live in the US from last 13 years. So, but I
Okay.
still know like
Just
a
out of
lot of my
curiosity.
friends are, basically waiting for Tesla. But yeah, I don't know whether the price point is correct. But I think still there is expectation about 15,000 to 20,000 cars might sell for even with this price.
I mean, if the cars are
Out of
produced in India, like let's say they're produced there in a new factory, that'll also help. I don't know if
Oh,
they had plans.
that would be north of 100,000. If they are produced
That's what
in
I was
India,
curious about.
there won't be any tariff. Yeah, but
What's the
Tesla doesn't.
chances of a gigafactory starting up in India is what I'm curious about.
I think they have to fill the China capacity first, right? They have surplus in China, so they have to basically meet all the demand, like all the excess capacity in China before putting a factory in India. So they are just testing the waters. I think for a year or two they will see, even with this prices, if there are sales, then they might basically open a factory. Because if it is $30,000 or like less of that, like Indian market could basically be next to US and China. So it might be the third largest market for for Tesla.
That's what I was thinking too. That would be a way around as well the taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but wait, I thought that they lowered the tariffs to import cars to 30%. They didn't.
So
Now
the
it's like
US imports from them lowered, but not to
Wow.
them. Does that make sense?
Oh wow.
yeah. Now they also lowered to 15% if you are promising to put a factory in India. So if you start the factory kind of construction, it will be 15% for the first 8,000 cars.
Which is right
Huh.
up Elon's alley because that's what he does best: supply chain god in regions.
Yeah. So might be India might agree to Tesla having some other supply chain instead of the gigafactory, but I don't know. Don't know what's going on inside.
Yeah. Yeah. That's. I mean, there's 4 factories. I don't know if Tesla wants to make a 5th factory. I don't know. That's because they had to get Mexico,
I
then they
mean,
canceled
if the
it.
demand is high enough, it might be worth it. And
But they
India's
have the money
massive
to
demand.
construct it by their own. Yeah, they don't have to lend money anymore. This is one thing nobody is realizing, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. I mean, having a gigafactory in India would make sense along with Megapack factory as well. What I really want to see though in India is what's it called? Them trying to solve FSD there. Or trying to have FSD. Man, if they
Or
could do
if they solve in India, they can solve anywhere in the world. Like it's a done deal.
They need to go to Naples, Italy, where people drive like complete idiots, and then they will definitely solve it. That's final boss. But India's bad too.
India has other types of vehicles, like small vehicles on the same lane, multiple types of vehicle in the like moving across lanes, sometimes even animals in on the road, so like cows. So it's like it's going to be challenging, really challenging. The
Man,
highways would be easy, the highways are great, so highways would be easy for Tesla, but yeah, internal roads would be pretty difficult.
man, I want to see that. I want to see them go to like the most busiest and the most disorganized road there and just see what the thing can do.
I mean, to be fair though, Pejjy, we did see Omar rocking out with his FSD in New York City. I don't know if you've ever been there, but
Yeah,
bro,
I've
that
been
is a
there,
traffic
bro.
nightmare too.
New York City is insane when it comes to traffic. I've also seen the roundabouts that the recent video that Tesla shared as well in London, where it was like 5 roundabouts in one roundabout, which is just I'm just like, and it eased it. I mean, even in China, I mean, China is not, is not spectacular in driving either. There's a lot of it's a I'm not saying it's like India, but I'm just saying it's like it does have some similarities there. And China is,
They're different kind of challenges. Like,
yeah,
look at the one that was climbing the mountain, for God's sake,
that
dude.
was
Like, this thing
insane.
is climbing a tiny mountain on the mountainside. It's like, bro, and fully FSD. Wow.
That's what I'm saying. I have very high hopes that Tesla's FSD can be managed in India after a few times, after a few dozen trials. I think it'll do good. I mean,
Yeah, but unfortunately, the investors of the rest of the world, except for US, they don't realize it because they don't get it and see it in the press or in social media what this FSD is capable of.
good,
And nobody believes it, even in my neighborhood. Yeah, and, oh no, it always has fail breaks and everything. And but yeah, it's
good,
I think that's a big difference. Yeah, we have a totally different software here in Europe, FSD or autopilot software um, capabilities and restrictions compared to US or maybe Canada. I don't know.
no, good. I mean, we want them not to believe it yet because we want to buy the stock on a cheaper price. Because think about it, man. Right now, only like what 1%, 2% of the world really knows. Not even maybe knows about how cars actually drive themselves. What do you think is going to happen when majority of the world realizes that? Oh, wait a minute. Cars can drive themselves. It's safe. We can use it. I don't think Tesla's going to be traded at $300 per share. That's all I'm saying. So I mean, this is still under development. But once everyone knows that this is the case, I mean, everyone that I know that knows that Tesla drive themselves, they own Tesla stock. Like that's insane to me. Like I met some people here, they're Kuwaiti, um, and they know that Tesla drive themselves and they own stock. I'm just like, bro, you own stock of Tesla? It's like, yeah, I own stock because, yeah, I mean, the electric cars, whatever. But man, self-driving is self-driving. That's different. And they're already doing it in the US and stuff like that. And I'm just like, darn. So when people understand this thing, and if they're in it to make money, they will buy the stock. So right now, most people are still sleeping. They don't know about it. And once they do know about it, I don't think the stock's gonna be where it is right now. So until then, I'm
I
gonna keep
don't think it's
buying.
going to be long, Pejjy. I really don't. Like, there comes a point in time where, like, the doubt is just erased because it's just, you see it everywhere and it's starting to get there. It's not going to be long, I feel. Maybe within this year, and people are going to wake up.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't think it'll be not a linear. I don't think, or a compound or an exponential awareness. I think it'll be like, okay, this market they know about it. So, and then people in Europe, once this thing goes live in Europe and they actually see with their own eyes and government stance and sentiment starts to change on this, going like, oh wait a minute, this is actually much safer, And then you have like the Middle East and other places going. I think it's gonna change everything. I think it's gonna change everything. So
I would agree with that, but I would caveat that with, like, when you're looking at it, right, the more it's adopted, the more exponential it's going to go.
that's
So
right.
that's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
So
that's
yeah,
true.
it's going to be slow start, but once it goes, it's burning.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm very excited. Fa is here. How is X takeover?
Hello, guys. So it's hot here in California today, and oh my God, you see all of them. Everybody on my X feed is in real life right now. Tesla Boomer Mama, her husband, Herbert. I'm hanging out with Kristen, Katen, and Oliver is right here. It is like, oh my God. And if you love Tesla and cars, this is a Disneyland for all of us. My mind is blowing, man. Like all this Cybertruck here, I'm jealous. I want 3 of them. Like when Tesla gonna hit 5,000 a share, I gonna buy all the color. How about that? Like Pejjy, next year, I don't know, next come here, stay
No,
on my
next.
couch.
Yeah,
We need
next.
to do this together.
Yeah, next year I'm coming for sure. Next year there's no this year sucks, but next year for sure I'll be coming and probably coming with the wife too. So haha, let's see.
Hey,
Dude,
Fa, did you see the drone show last night?
yeah, so the guy that managed the donuts right here too. We try to order food and
Yeah,
sit and
Simon.
eat. Yeah, we all here hanging out. It's amazing. I never see anything like this cool before. I miss 1010 and I miss Tesla the party at the Giga Austin. So I saw those on the video before, but nothing like in real life, man. It's 800 drone and everything that they show,
Ooh.
it's just like, oh my God. My kid not even cry. He's just like, oh my God, more, more, more. Oh, it's amazing. So I'm sorry I'm late. I miss you guys. This is awesome. Um, hopefully next year I get Pejjy here with me in California, and maybe we can do one in Austria too. Let's go to Europe. I want to go. It's so much fun.
Yeah, Europe is actually easier for me because I'm in Kuwait. But next summer for sure, when I go to Toronto, I'll be going to Austin for 2 weeks, and I think I'll get like people who is in Austin to make like a day in a bar or something like that, and then we can all meet up there for a full day. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be awesome to meet everybody. 100 people, 200 people, 300 people, however many people want to come, it'll be awesome. And then I'll do a trip to California as well for a week as well or two, and then we can do some stuff there too. So it's gonna be, yeah. I mean, long term, I'm looking to move to Austin, but let's see, long term, because
You should
Canada.
do that. You should
I
really
used to
do that.
live in Toronto actually as a German for half a year and worked there in a publishing company called Rogers Media.
Yeah, Rogers.
Um, yeah, but one thing I want to ask you guys is, what do you think about the plan of investing in XII?
Bro, that's amazing if Tesla
That's
can
going
do
to
that.
be that's really important. And thanks to the work of Alexandra Mertz, Tesla Boomer Mama, and Amy SF Tahoe, there was some really great work done to get that into the proxy. So that's going to be in the shareholder vote. Tesla confirmed that. And there's absolutely going to be a place where if you own Tesla shares, you can vote yes on that XAI incorporation.
That's gonna be awesome.
And by the way, if you haven't had your proof of your shares, get that now because time is running very short and you want to vote yes on that. It's huge.
But that's with your broker though. The broker will do that, right?
Yeah,
The
but I'm
broker,
saying
yeah,
reach out to them
the
early
broker
ahead of
is
time.
going to send you the control code. And guys, this is very similar, guys, to the last shareholder vote. Remember the shareholder vote where Elon Musk's compensation package was first called into question. Remember there was another vote that I absolutely voted yes on. So it's a similar situation where just pay attention to your control code and your votes, and just make sure to just do it as early as possible, just so your voice is heard.
Yeah, sure. And I think when is the vote happening?
Should be like November something from top of my
Yeah.
head,
Aha,
but get it
got
done
it.
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, okay. No, I mean, last time when I voted, I didn't have to prove my shares. It was just like my broker sent me that, hey, you have this many shares, vote. So
Exactly. Yeah, same for me, Pejjy. I just got a little notification, and I went into my brokerage and I just did the vote.
hell yeah, hell yeah. Last time, this
Not all
vote,
brokerages are made the same. I would just reach out ahead of time, make sure you got your control number, so that way we can vote on this XAI issue, and we can also vote on this man's pay package, which is well overdue.
hell yeah, hell yeah. And it's stupid to me that we have to talk about his pay package, even though it's been like voted twice now, right? It's voted twice now. I don't understand.
It
It's so stupid.
it's pretty likely, and Alexandra Merch was making some good points about this earlier. She said that she believed that it was pretty likely that his first pay package was going to be approved. It was approved overwhelmingly. Remember how many votes, Pejjy, that they got last time with all of even a lot of the institutionals. Vanguard voted yes. A lot of the institutionals voted yes. And so the great thing about Tesla is it has a huge retail base, roughly 40-50% or something. So it's really big. And because it has such a huge base, it's pretty likely that the XAI and the pay and all of these important packages are going to get voted yes on. So
Yeah. So wait, question.
I don't mean to like make it sound too positive, but I'm optimistic about it.
No, I'm pretty optimistic.
This is one of those companies that actually you have power as a retail.
Yeah.
Utilize it.
Yeah. I mean, what I want to know is that he's not getting paid because of the Delaware situation, right? It's been blocked, and the Mick Corrupt is like still. I don't know. She's still not making a decision on it yet, right? I think when I spoke to Alexandria, she told me that the next hearing is gonna be in October or something like that. That's what I heard. So
Pejjy, basically what happened was there was a ruling done by the Delaware Chancery Court. And yeah, like you said, Alexandra Tesla Boomerhammer goes really greatly into detail. She's really into this stuff, and she always posts about it, And so what happened was the decision was basically that there was some compensation awarded to the lawyers on the other side, and they were going to try to appeal it. So it's still in limbo. I believe it's on appeal, but because Tesla's now in Texas, they no longer have any liability there. Okay, so once its new pet package is approved, and once you get the XAI in the proposal, that makes everything in the past all moot. So because it's now incorporated in Texas, anything from Delaware, the most liability we'll have with Delaware is a little bit going to the legal on the other side. And if that's taken out on appeal, then that won't even be owed to them, because that's frivolous, right? The lawyers shouldn't be getting paid, because that they didn't earn that. That's not their money. That's our money as shareholders, right? So
yeah, okay, that makes
Well
sense.
said.
That makes sense, and I'm so glad that we moved it from Delaware to Texas. And it's crazy that a lot of companies are doing the same thing. They're removing their headquarters, and they're incorporated out of Delaware. Man, she really ruined it. That's insane.
What do you guys
I've
think
lived
the
in
target?
Delaware before, and I can tell you it's a shithole, bro. So I'm glad they moved anyway.
What do you guys think the target would be for the next package? 1 trillion, 2 trillion,
Oh,
like
very
1
good
trillion is
question.
already there, right? So it's a 2 trillion, 3, 4, 5. I don't know where it will stop here.
I think okay. Here's a good question. This is what I think. I think the highest tier is going to be 10 trillion. I think the highest tier is going to be 10 trillion. But yeah, it could be moving in trillions, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trillion, and you'll get this. But I think the last tier is 10 trillion. I think that would be it, which is a 10x, right? So unless they go crazy and they say that, wait a minute, you've said Tesla can reach 20 trillion, so we'll make the last tier 20 trillion. But I think that's too far-fetched. I think that's kind of unfair. So or maybe
I
not. I don't know. But yeah.
I think all the good news will come after the voting, so that like he doesn't want a steep target to start with, so he doesn't want the Tesla stock to be like 450, 500 before the shareholders meeting, because then otherwise the targets would be muted for like the first year.
I think that's accurate. Very, very on point.
Yeah. You know what I realized about the Q2 earnings call, what Elon said, and this goes on. This is an add-on to what Devish said. I think we have I realized that based on what he said Q3 2026 is where we'll see some significant earnings, right? That tells me that we have pretty much 12 to 18 months to again, not financial advice, just my thought, like a timeline to buy as many shares as we possibly could. Not financial advice. I'm not saying that we should. Maybe that's what I got from it. I'm just like, if he's saying that we're going to get FSD revenues or robotaxi revenues significantly from Q3 or even Q4 of 2026 and onwards, that means that's a higher stock price, because that means that's a higher earnings and higher EPS. That means we have time to buy the stock until then. That's what I got from it. So on top of what you said as well, Devish, is, with a pay package as well. So maybe, who knows? Maybe, I don't know. All the good stuff happens, and then we have China invading Taiwan, and World War III breaks out, and knock on wood, it doesn't happen. We never know. We don't know. We never know. But that's what I got from it.
Hey guys,
Pejjy, I'm gonna be honest, man. The chances of that are a lot lower now.
I just want to say goodbye. Have a lovely Sunday tomorrow, and I think I will have a last glass of wine. And in 2 years, we will only drink champagne, hopefully. But I'm really confident, and I wish you a lovely rest of the weekend, and hopefully talk to you soon. Have a good night. Bye bye.
Thank you, Alexander. See you. Good night. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. Smokey. I mean, China's doing some really sketchy things when it comes to their thing. But yeah, if we can avoid that, I think the next 18 months. And we had Robert here last week or two. He was talking about the next 18 months is going to be very different. So
Pejjy, I just want to quickly say like one quick thing on that. I was doing some research into that. Like, what's the % chance of China moving on Taiwan, right? And what I came up with, to Smokey's point, is that it's fairly unlikely, mainly because if China did that, they would be committing economic suicide. They would be ostracized from the world. There would be massive sanctions. And China is very reliant on world trade, oil, and the like. And so there would be a tremendous death in the population due to food shortages and things like that. So I think it's quite unlikely, but you can never put that out of the realm of possibility, of course, right? But and to that point as well, China doesn't have the necessary technicians to take over TSMC plants if they invaded. So it wouldn't be a net benefit for them anyway. There would be no way for them to operate with that. Yeah.
The other thing, Gothic, the reason I said that is I've got two positions. One's in Tesla. The other one is definitely stopping that from happening. I'm pretty sure they witnessed what happened recently in the Middle East, what's been happening in Ukraine and Russia. They're seeing the precision. They're seeing the autonomy just beasting. And they're seeing that they're now locked out of shit, which they used to be able to come in and steal. They can no longer do that. So it's a huge deterrent, that mixed with what Gothic just said. And TSMC is actually coming to the US. Last I heard, they actually have kind of like an investment that they've already said they're coming to the US.
Yeah, they were going to invest. Invest in the US. Yeah.
So those items all together, it's good game, China. Good luck. They already lost. Checkmate.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean that would be. I've always said this. I was talking to Amit. I think it was 2-3 years ago. We were talking about Palantir, and I made a prediction, and it's still there. That I think China will move on to Russia first before Taiwan.
Yeah,
it's crazy, but I think that makes more economical sense for
It was very likely
they're not going to poke the bear.
It was likely that they would have done something when the tariffs were first instituted by Trump. That was the danger point. I mean, if if they were to act, that would have been a very precarious moment, and that might have been a highly dangerous moment. And that's why we saw NVIDIA dipping, TSMC. You know, a lot of companies, if you look at the stock price, when the tariffs were going high, I don't think it was like invasion risk that's the main reason why. I think also it was just like U.S. economy risk, right? But you know, people were worried about that, and that didn't happen. And I think Xi, you know, he's not. He's a lot of things. He does a lot of things that are pretty bad. Like they've done some pretty bad things. Same with Russia, right? Russia's done government-sponsored killings and things, but he's not going to do mass genocide of his own population. I think that's pretty unlikely. Again, I'm a perennial optimist on that, but I just think that he does want what's best for the population, and I'm just hoping, like, you know, that he can get along with everyone, and that's actually good for Tesla too, right? Imagine Tesla. We've seen FSD. Pejjy, you've seen all the videos, right, where the Chinese drivers of FSD are so happy posting all their cool videos. Remember those videos, Pejjy? Like how cool they are.
I need more
like,
stock.
all those are wonderful. Yeah, like I've seen, and they're so happy. Like when you look at the people driving in China with FSD, they're always so excited, and I love that. I love seeing that. They're always so like thrilled driving up a mountain pass or something, or a narrow road, but doesn't even have any GPS. And you see, you know, FSD navigating successfully in mountain passes and things, which is pretty incredible. But yeah, I mean, you know, I think that you know, one of China's first targets could have been Tesla. I mean, China could have ostracized Tesla from the government, from the government itself, right? As soon as the tariffs were implemented, that was sort of a worry that I had, but I got over that, you know. So
yeah, I mean,
Gothic, to your point on that, you got to look at also, as you were saying, they're happy, right? So the last thing that they want to do is piss off their population, because that would just be like, they'd be going after Xi Jinping then. Like, he'd be target number one. He doesn't want that. And you also have to look at America is now reindustrializing at a speed that's never been happened before, due to what we were just talking about. So there's so many things.
There's all
that are just falling into place.
Are one step away, Smokey. I mean, when you look at history in a long scale, you know, when government has faced popular dissent, there's always been revolution, and that was the one way the populace had to retake and reclaim their power, usurp the power of the greater government. And there's always a possibility for revolution if that happens, you know. So yeah, I'm sure that they're worried about that.
Yeah. What I would also say is the fact how China has the red carpet out for Tesla in China. The fact that Tesla is one of the only companies there. I don't know if it's one of many, but no, not many, but one of few companies that that don't have a what's it called, joint Chinese company or something like that, like a sponsor, pretty much. It's
like
them.
CCP can't own them.
Yeah,
it's them. Yeah,
that's awesome, and they're okay with that. Like the Chinese government is okay with that, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's surprising that they haven't demanded subsidy. Yeah, like it's interesting how they haven't you know, demanded a percentage fee for operation or something like that. It's pretty interesting. I'm really glad that they didn't do that. Just imagine how detrimental that would have been, right? If at the gate China said, okay, there's always going to be a royalty that you owe us for operation here. That would have been really, really bad.
Well, I mean,
I was actually shocked that they agreed to give the data over to Tesla from the FSD in China. I was shocked when that happened. My eyes blew out my head, dude.
That's insane. China, a CCP, Communist Party, never does such a thing. They actually take data from you, but they're actually giving it to Tesla. That's insane. But I mean, look at what Tesla. I mean, every country in the world is begging Elon to build a factory in their country because they know what they can do. Because it's not just cars; it's just so many other things.
Pejjy, this all goes towards the good relationship that these governmental leaders and Elon has, right? Like when you really think about it, Trump and Elon actually have a great relationship, as per Trump's tweet, right? Doesn't want to destroy Elon, wants him to thrive more than ever before. Quote, I want him to thrive more than ever before, right? And then you have China giving data like that. I mean, they're all really closely tied, and thank God for that, because if that wasn't the case, especially with these massive, governments, that would be very, very difficult to get a foothold.
Do you guys remember when I talked about the moat that Elon had with Trump like months back when the spat first started?
No.
Pejjy, you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
So I was saying back in the day, like, this is 4D chess, and this is why I said that. A lot of people don't understand; they don't have that in-depth knowledge like Gothic's talking about. But you look at it right now, and Elon Musk owns 74% of the satellites in orbit around the Earth. Like all nation states, all militaries, everybody combined, he has 74%. That moat alone, the US would never let go of him because that is huge. The Golden Dome is all going to be tied to that. I can promise. I can see it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was like a. Yeah, sorry, Pejjy. I just want to say there was an article. Okay, yeah, there was an article that came out, Smokey, that I think it was WSJ or something, Wall Street Journal or something, that were saying that, oh well, the government's competing for the Golden Dome with SpaceX and a few other companies, and the sad thing that the government's required to solicit contracts from all possible potential candidates, and of course SpaceX will win it. But the fact that the Wall Street Journal is sensationalizing it is ridiculous. I think that sensationalist journalism really is really quickly coming to an end. And thank God for Trump being in the office, because he's really trying to bring an end to the sensationalist journalism. And by the way, I really hope that Trump wins his lawsuit on the Epstein letter, because that would be, because it's not only vindicating for Trump, but it's also vindicating, by the way, for Elon, because Elon was saying, well, this letter looks bogus, right? So, yeah, it was pretty good. Like, sensationalism is crazy.
That's what I'm saying, man. The moat's too large. People don't understand it. They don't have a conceptual knowledge of all the big pieces put together. But when you're looking at it, dude, yeah, there's no chance that breakup would ever be real.
Yeah, that was insane, and it was probably an awesome time to buy the stock when it went down. It was awesome. It was a sheesh moment. Sheesh. Ooh. So, yeah, I mean, what do you guys think from now until end of the year?
I'll go first. I'm pretty optimistic. So I'm holding long. I have 99% Tesla, 1% Bitcoin. So I'm holding long. I'm not gonna sell it and try to time anything, because you just never know, So I don't want to realize gains, right? I don't want to do that either. I think Alexandra Mertz's cost basis was around 230. I think I asked her about that, and she said, "Oh, I'm about 230." And so she's at 230 cost basis. She's up quite a bit. Why would Tesla Boomer Mama want to sell her stock, before 2026, and just to lose a little bit, what she has? I think she has like 30 grand or something that she might invest if it might dip. But I think she wanted to have that as like emergency cash or something. But yeah, like so to your question, like I'm pretty optimistic. I think that it's going to do pretty well as we see more and more Tesla rollouts in California, right? We have Arizona, right? Arizona is the next big one. We're going to have all of these rollouts. There's going to be more and more bullishness, more and more optimism, and we're going to see more vehicles in their fleet. And again, the magic number, I think, is around 1,000 or 2,000. Maybe let's call it like 2,000 cars, just to be pessimistic, right? Which is pretty high number. And then once we see that inflection point, it's probably going to go up. I think that end of year, my price target would be similar to yours and Joe's. Actually, it's pretty high. It isn't going to be like above 1,000, but it's going to be close to that number. I would say like high 3 digits. And yeah, like I wouldn't want to bet against that and actively sell now. And take a risk of losing what you already have, right? Like, why lose it, right? There's just there's no reason to do that.
Interesting.
I'm curious to know what Divya thinks too after Smokey goes. I want to know what Divya thinks about the stock price.
Oh, Davey can go, man. I can wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I think around 550 is doable by end
Okay.
of the year because the earnings won't kick in, right? So, and Wall Street gives more importance to actual earnings. So yeah, so 500, 550 is doable. I don't think 600 we can reach. I would be very happy if we did reach 600 or above. Yeah. But yeah, even 500, 550, given what we had in March, is a great return.
Divya, do you think that and sorry to jump into Smokey's turn, but I just want to ask one question to Divya. Divya, do you think that that Wall Street will begin to recognize and pre-plan for that inflection point with robotaxi before it happens next year? Do you think that
Yeah, so
maybe early next year?
if we go into four, 3 or 4 states and like public, it's open to public. That's where like this three we'll leave the 300 zone and enter 400
Yeah,
and 500.
even before now, Divya, even before there's realized tremendous revenue from robotaxi, right? I'm talking about even before that. I'm talking about when the number of cars is say like 500 to 1,000 or something in the fleet of robotaxi, and they're already rolled out in Texas, Arizona, and in California, and there's no permitting issues there. So you think that
You forgot
Yeah,
Florida.
yeah. That's
Florida,
why I'm
yeah.
expecting this 500, 550 zone because they like it still would be they go by PE and the PE would still be north of like 200 even at this price, like 500, 550. So
But
yeah,
see, Divya, keep in mind that Palantir has a tremendously high PE,
yeah. I don't know why how they gave so much
well,
valuation to
it's because of their partnerships and the ontology structure they have. I used to be an investor with them, but the
Yeah.
thing is, Divya, that PE isn't necessarily, and we're seeing this more and more with AI companies now. PE isn't necessarily a tremendous limiting factor for a lot of investors, mainly retail. I think institutional might be a small amount, yes, maybe hedge fund, but not so much retail.
Yeah, and PE
Yeah.
is usually good for companies that are like matured
No,
already.
I know, but Wall Street usually doesn't skip that. For
Wall Street's
Palantir,
late.
they did. Yeah, for Palantir, they did. And plus, there is this political factor which people are staying away from in Tesla. So that's why, like, if there is no politics to it, we can reach 600 or above. Yeah, if like, but I don't
Well,
believe there would be no political tweets.
well,
There would be. Yeah.
Divya, keep in mind that Trump did tweet a few days ago that he doesn't want to destroy Elon, he wants Elon to thrive. So I think some of the political fallout has been muted a little bit. But yeah, Smokey, I want to know what you think. What do you think, man? For Smokey, what do you think about the price action for like this year, next year?
I've always thought that I tell Pejjy all the time. I'm like, those are rookie numbers. I'm joking, of course, because I'm not the type that's a stock bro. So I don't look at like PEs and all that stuff. I look at foundations, what they're doing. Like, what is the actual goal? What is the mission? How are they executing? And nobody can execute like the two we've been speaking about here. So to bet against Elon, I would say, yeah, somewhere between 6 to 8, probably, probable. But who knows? Like, who knows what the next tweet could be that brings another dip that you can buy. Ultimately, what I do think is by the next year, 2 years, if it's below 1,500, I'll be shocked. So, and with Palantir, the PE, it doesn't make sense. Wall Street is definitely behind with service or with a with software as a service models like companies use, like Adobe or any other software company. They go by the rule of 40. So the reason why Palantir is killing it so bad is because you look at these massive companies that are still barely growing, but they're already established. They've had their foot in the door for decades, and they're just killing it. They're struggling to hit a rule of 40 score at 40, which means you're good and you're still growing. Palantir just hit 83 last quarter, which means exponential growth. They're growing into their valuation. And August 4th should be their next earnings call. And I expect the customers valuation, or excuse me, the customer's addition to funding coming in, it was 24% from existing customers last quarter. I expected to be double that this quarter because they're starting to go exponential. So it's a different metric, and Wall Street has been sleeping on it, and I've been calling it since April. But it is what it is.
Sheesh. Yeah, I mean, Palantir with the 600, 800 PEs is insane, but with the earnings coming in, it is justifying it. It's kind of like thinking about NVIDIA, how it was like last year and the year before, where it 10x literally in a year, and the PE went as high as like, I don't know, 500, 600, 700, but now it's like the earnings justified it. And I expect Tesla to maybe within the next 18 months or so for them to also be in the 500, 600 Ps. I do expect that. I do.
Pejjy, I agree with that. I've been saying that the whole time. Like, once it goes, it's going to start to go exponential.
Yeah.
Because you're going to see everybody seeing it working. And then, basically every 2 people see it working. Now 4 are interested. Then 4 are interested, they buy and they see it working. Now 8 are interested.
Yeah.
It's going to continue like that.
Exactly.
Next year for sure. Next year, like the stock will explode. For this year,
What?
I think we can expect about 50% from this level.
Divya, what do you think next year, by the end of the year, the stock price could be for Tesla?
So we could be in the 2.5-3 trillion zone, right? It is like about 900
Okay.
or so. Yeah. But that's when, like, because if you see Nvidia also, the stock market gave it a valuation when they actually made profits, right? 50% profit growth, and that 50% profit growth and 100% profit growth is pretty easy for Tesla once they achieve unsupervised, right? Because no one has even given any valuation to the services revenue. Imagine people playing games, buying apps, using apps from the Tesla App Store. No one has even thought about
Yeah.
it.
Did you see the tremendous job they're doing with the Tesla Diner interactivity with the cars? There's so much interaction that you can do in the car with the Tesla.
That's branding done perfectly. That's perfect execution branding right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think unsupervised would unlock a lot of services revenue. And even, I don't know if people have thought about Grok, Super Grok, and those subscription from the car. Would Tesla get a share out of that? I don't know if we would buy it from the car. Yeah.
If Tesla does some investments in XAI, I think there would be.
No,
that is why it's so important to invest in it. That's why as shareholders, we need to be on that.
Facts.
Because as XAI explodes and it starts to make a lot of money, which it's going to do, we need to be a part of that too. And that is about bringing all that back into us. It's kind of symbiotic when you look at it. The training data is being used, and then the training data is giving back. It's very symbiotic.
I made a post on X, I think it was like a week ago or so, saying how it's frustrating for us Tesla investors that Tesla did not invest in XAI when it first came out. It was like a 40x or something, or 400x return, and Elon Musk liked that comment, liked that post of it, pretty much saying that. I mean, he commented on someone else's post saying that, well, it wasn't our choice. It wasn't. He said like he wanted Tesla to invest into XAI, but the shareholders and the board, were in the way, and it wasn't as easy as it was for the other private companies to get in.
Yeah, so, that board member should be taken off. Like,
that was ridiculous.
At 20 billion valuation, if Tesla had put in 5 billion, we would have had 25% of the 200
that'd be insane. Like Tesla could have
I couldn't agree more with that, bro.
Yeah, that was insane. So it looks like the board kind of cut this a bit, but it wasn't Elon's. It wasn't him stopping it. It was the board. But nonetheless, if we can get a vote and get this passed and get XAI invested as soon as possible, because we can see this thing going in the future, in the long term, being valued in the trillions as well. So that'll really help. That'll be amazing. But I think
you got to look at also, Pejjy, like when you're looking at Optimus, right?
Yeah.
Optimus and XAI are going to be symbiotic as hell.
That's
So
right.
when that comes out, oh my God, like, yeah, it needs to happen.
Yeah.
Pejjy, have you started to include Optimus in your spreadsheet calculations yet, or done a little bit of looking at it?
No, I have for my long-term one up until 2030, but it's very hard. Well, we're getting
Okay.
we're getting better numbers now from Elon saying that 1 million units per year by 2030.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
You know what, Pejjy? I think that when he was saying that, I think he said, I would be surprised. So you know what I keep thinking, and I know how much CERN hated that. CERN was saying he just couldn't stand that he said that. He didn't know why Elon said, 100,000 a month by 2030. You know what I think though? I think Elon was saying that as an upper limit. Sorry, a lower limit. And I think that could be
We know what you
something
meant.
that. Yeah, my bad. Maybe I'm a little tired now. I've been talking too long, but no, like I think that he could totally make it be much more scaled at that point, and I think it'll be more than that. I really do.
Let's see.
I
This
honestly think Optimus is coming faster than we thought it was. I really do. Like, he's got a mission to 26 that he needs to meet, and I think he's going to meet it.
I don't know. For me, the Optimus stuff, when I want to sit down and do the numbers get so bogus, get so bonkers that my mind goes like, bro, like,
So
stop.
Pejjy, you've talked to Joe, right, about that, and I think you've talked to CERN as well, right?
Yeah, CERN.
So
He's coming back. He's coming back on another podcast on Tuesday, so it'll be up by.
You know what you could do?
Yeah.
If you ask him to confirm that, and ask him about, because he mentioned that 90% of the business or so long term would be Optimus, maybe 8%, 9% robo-taxi, and the rest would be auto bidder, other services, maybe XAI might be 2% or something like that. But then ask him if he still thinks that, and then maybe I'm interested to know what his perspective is, because I haven't actually met CERN in a live feed before. So I'm asking you to ask for a friend, if you want.
Yeah, sure. I'll take a note of that. I'll ask him on Tuesday.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see what he says. But yeah, no, I think the stock, my price target for end of this year is 575. If anything else happens, like if they for some reason come out and say that pre-orders of the Cybercab, if that happens this year, I think the stock can reach 1,000. That's gonna be insane. But I think that with I mean, it doesn't make sense to do the Cybercab pre-orders and then also release the affordable models. I think that doesn't make sense. So I think I'm giving that a very low chance now. But yeah, I think no, it's insane to me that now the market doesn't care about the earnings per quarter. They care more about what's actually happening in each city with the robo-taxis and FSD, and that's what's driving the stock. I love it. So, sheesh, that is a very sheesh moment, and no, I love it. I love it. Very curious. I'm more curious about. I know I mentioned this before. I'll mention it again though. Q4 earnings call. Q3 is whatever, but Q4 earnings call. I'm very excited to see what they're going to say with the amount of data that they're going to have with robo taxis and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be awesome. So, sheesh moment right there. Sheesh.
Hey, Pejjy, think about also, he said he saw the most amazing thing when he came out of the I forget what it was, the research lab or whatever.
Demo.
I'm pretty sure that had something to do with an Optimus brain. I'm fairly certain. And the reason I think that is because we got the window of opportunity to go to Mars and start this project that he's all in on is 26. It's right around the corner. So I think he's going to start producing the Optimuses he's making now for that mission. And I think they're ready.
Man, if Elon actually pulls it off, that'd be insane. Like if he pulls it off like next year, going to Mars and all this stuff, I would be jaw dropped. I would be in awe.
Yeah.
What have we learned though? Don't bet against Elon, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like it would be really great. Like the one thing about that, I've been looking at the Starship launches, and they're going pretty well. I think they have to have a certain amount of efficacy in the boost back return and the splashdown, and there has to be like a success rate that's fairly high there. But I think that if they're somehow able to make the Optimus, have that reduce like human fatality risk, then maybe they can like launch them into space or something. That'd be cool.
That's what I think is going to happen. I think he's going to produce enough that he can send off to Mars, because you don't need humans. Optimus supposedly can, just back themselves up to a charger. So at what point do you need a human for that? Just send them to start the actual mission that he started and wanted to do. Because that opportunity only rises every 2 years. That's why I think, don't bet against Elon. I think it's going to happen.
And just think about how good they have to make Optimus before they send to Mars, right? So that's even more exciting. So they have to
It's already there.
Yeah.
He has Optimus V3. Optimus V3 is in the works right now.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys know, like, have you guys seen like any schematics or schema or anything for Optimus V3? I've been trying to find that. I don't know what it looks like.
I think it's the one that's in the diner right now, but I'm not sure.
No, that's V2.
No.
That's V2.
That's V2, yeah.
Yeah, Gen 3
That's
is
wild
different.
then.
Yeah, Gen 3 is insane. It's next level. All right, guys, that is it. Time is up. 90 minutes. That went by so quick. Holy sheesh. I know I started the space late today, but next week we will be back on schedule with Fa. So awesome. No, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Yeah, until next week. Thank you all.
Thanks, man. Bye.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good week.
Good week. Good night. Take care. Oh, that was insane. Anyways, it's 1:30 here. I gotta go to bed. I'll see you guys in the next videos. Like, subscribe, and I shall see you guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Let's get